Hey everyone, happy Friday. It is Kate over at Motion.io. Excited to get going and have a great learning session today. Today we are going to go through a few different new features we want to highlight, but also make sure to share with you all how to better collaborate with your clients and your team members while you're working on those projects. While we wait for a few more people to join, I thought it might be nice if you want to let us know either where you're joining from. You can drop that in the chat, or if you want to let us know what you might get up to this weekend, you can drop an emoji there. I'll go ahead and share. I have a book club I am part of. I'm hoping to do one of my readings for that. And I also learned that one of my favorite authors came out with a new short series. So that's what I hope to get into this weekend. And again, feel free, let us know where you're joining from, or let us know what you're up to. Today in Denver, it is sunny and it is quite nice out. We have had a lot of rain earlier this week, but everything is now green and blooming and yeah, ready for the weekend over here. All right, we gave it just about a minute or two to let folks join. So wanted to go over our agenda for today. Our agenda, our primary three things that we're going to get into is how to turn client messages into actionable steps for your team members and you to collaborate on. Not having to really dig through emails, go through different chats, kind of dig around, find those. Again, it's a cleaner way to add those chats and into tasks for yourself. After that, we're going to go ahead and share with you how to use our new task feature filters. Those filters will be really helpful for you to know how and where your projects are at, both with your client tasks as well as your team tasks. So there's a lot more visibility across your team there. So we're excited to show you. And then last, we want to make sure to let you know just some high-level ways to track projects. So we'll review all of those together. We love to make this interactive. Please go ahead and drop any questions you have in the chat. I'll take about the first 5 or 10 minutes to go through those items I just mentioned, but then otherwise we want to have you all guide this conversation. So again, big picture, our topic today is going to be team collaboration, how to find messages amongst your clients and create those into, again, actionable steps for your team. So if you have questions about that, if you have other questions that come up, that is fine too. Happy to get those answered. We'll be monitoring the chat for those. So when those do come up, again, feel free, add them there. I'm going to go ahead and get my screen ready to share, and will let you guys all know when it will should be showing on your end. All right, so you all can see my Motion account. Whenever you log in, it'll bring you to the project section. And right away, we notice I might have a message in my center. I'll pop over to that message and we can see, oh, one of my clients has reached out. It will let me know with that new message there. If one of my team members has already seen this and responded, we'll see a green arrow. We'll see that green arrow in a second, but that's just one visual cue to let you know that your team member has already been working on this. Over here, we can see that I pinged Robert, my client, earlier. He's a little late in getting me his signed contract, so I just wanted to see if he had any questions, remind him, hey, it'll just take a few minutes to get this done. He went in there, he looked, and he let me know, can you resend the original agreement or anyone on my team? Now we have it with this convert to task where it'll make it really easy to pop up and have anyone on that project. So maybe if this is my task that I do want to resend it to him, or my colleague Cynthia, she was working on this contract and this project with the SEO for Robert. I'll sign it to both of us. And then I'll go ahead and just quickly add this note in the details there, Robert's original message, and I'll rename this new task. So this new task, I'll just say resend original agreement. I'll save that task, and that will go ahead and be added to my project. And now instead of converting it, we can see that I can go in there and view that task and start actioning it as needed. I'm going to go ahead and make sure to send this out and have it be active. I want to get this out right away, so I'm just going to remind myself that it is due today. I'll go back into my messages really quick now that I've created that task and just confirm, let Robert know, hey, we're working on this. We'll be back in touch. We can see that green arrow pop up. So Cynthia was working on this. She would then go ahead and pop in, see that new message was there. She would also see a red message in her center, but she would see it. I'd already responded, and she would see and receive a new email that she has a new task assigned to her as well. We'll go back into Robert's project. And then something that's nice too is when you're working in this and you're working on that task, you can know that this was created as a one-off for your project and go back to view that original message. So again, you can go back and forth. You and Cynthia maybe hop on a quick call, collaborate. Hey, who wants to get this done? Let's start getting this drafted. Then we can go ahead and move on with the project. All right, we'll pop over to the task section. And this is awesome. This is going to help with a lot of visibility across of your different projects. Right now, whenever you pop in, it will default to your tasks. So it will show your tasks here that are active or in review. You can filter your own tasks, so we can see mine are selected there. And we can see all of my tasks, even if they're drafted. So we can see that one I just made, resend the original agreement. It's in draft mode. I'll go ahead and activate that for Cynthia and I. Another way that you can collaborate on here is if you want to see fully all of those tasks, you can add all of the different draft statuses. And then maybe I want to see how busy Cynthia is. I'll go ahead and just see the tasks that she is upcoming, see if she has that bandwidth to resend that original agreement, or if I should do that for the end of the day. I'll go ahead and clear all of my filters. When there are no filters in there, we can see all tasks inside of my Motion account across both client and team tasks. So if you just want to, again, see what you have upcoming, what you have already created in Motion, what you guys are working on, but really the power behind this is using the different filters. I think they're pretty intuitive here for your team members. But one thing I want to make sure to highlight is you might want to know where your clients are at with their tasks. You can switch that and filter this out and just see your client tasks. And then again, you can always do it by status. So maybe you're really concerned too about any of your active, in review, incomplete tasks. Those are the ones that are ongoing. So you can use these filters, see again, whatever you need there. Lastly, I think this is really great down here, the last comment that has been on any tasks. So if I want to see today's, that'll also bring up, okay, there's a new comment in here. This was a comment from today. Let's pop it up. Okay, just even 15, 20 minutes ago, Robert and I were going back and forth with each other. We can see that. And then maybe I just want to review, really the past week, all of the comments back and forth. This will show right now, just this task. I've been chatting just with my client, but if I did for the past week and switched it over to the team task, if you guys are chatting on your internal team tasks, taking notes, this is a way to surface those in a clean view, review those again in the past week, maybe today, the past day. All right, we'll go back over to the project section. Just a couple of other items I want to make sure to highlight, and then we'll take a pause to see if any questions have come in. Don't forget, if you have questions, whether they're on today's topic or in Motion in general, feel free, add them to the chat, and we'll be happy to get those answered in real time. The last thing for today, want to make sure to highlight these middle filters here. These middle filters will allow you to filter on the project level. So in this task section, again, on the left-hand side, this is for you to view all of the different tasks, use these different filters, see high level and more granular operations going on with your tasks. Over here on the projects, though, we just want to make sure to highlight that these filters are for the project level themselves. So if we want to see on the project level those overdue tasks, okay, I'll click on that and we can see, oh no, there is an overdue task in this project. Let me jump in there. All right, it's already the one we've been addressing, no problem. The other thing I do find helpful for these filters is the no recent activity. If you want to highlight your mouse over that little eye, it'll always remind you that there's been no activity on this project in the last 7 days. That is really helpful. Maybe on Monday mornings, you and your team hop in. You want to just review, make sure, all right, there hasn't really been any activity. Let's pop in there. Let's re-engage the client, maybe chat them, see what's going on. On this project level, I'll go ahead and refresh the screen just to clear all of the filters. On this project level, we can see that there is new activity, and then we can click on that and it'll pop out this activity column to see anything that's going on. So this is really nice. We can see, okay, thanks for asking. We can see kind of chronological order of all of that activity in the task. All right. That is a brief highlight of just some of our topics for today. Reviewing now just to see if any questions have come in from the audience and the community. So I don't see anyone has let me know where they're joining from today or what they're getting up to with the emojis this week, and that's okay. You can always do that at another time if you're feeling like you want to share. For those questions as well, we have not yet had any questions come in, but I do have a few more things I'd be happy to highlight. With those different tasks options, I'll go ahead and set up an example just so I can show you what the tasks and some of that recent chats if you're working with your team members. So I'm going to go back into my socials for Everroot Landscaping. This is where Robert wanted that contract again. We can see my resend original contract here. Maybe I want to double check with Cynthia. I know she has a busy day. She's on calls today. Hey, are you able to do this? We may chat each other. Again, maybe I do know she has that busy call schedule. Give her a couple of hours, have her get back to me, let me know. And then a few other things that we can action here is to go in and wanted to highlight how we do have a contract here. But if you guys wanted to as well, I can reattach the original contract and the files. Can drag and drop them over here, resend it this way. And then I may suggest once that's done, if I was doing this, just pinging Robert. Hey, Robert, this is all ready. I've updated this task. Please review your original contract and please finish completing your intake. Wonderful. Now that those have popped up, we can go over to the task section. And now I want to go ahead and use these filters again, just with the team, as well as the last comment. So now I can know what is collaborating with my team members when I'm chatting back and forth on those different tasks, where those comments are at. But now I can see, okay, I did let Cynthia know that. If she chatted me back, I would see that as well pop up in my messages. Or I can, again, see that whole history in this tasks view. The really nice thing about using this task view alongside this message center is a couple of weeks ago, we did an update that if your clients reply to motion emails, it will show up in your message center. So that can be really powerful in that you no longer have to know, okay, did they send this to me in my email? Where did they chat me? Did they actually send me a text message, that disjointed, siloed communication? So again, even if they reply to my original chat here, like I chatted Robert, he can reply to that email and it will show up in this thread and I can still, create that task like I did at the beginning, and then I can still view it. I can go back and forth as needed. Say I was done actioning this, I can go ahead and archive it so it'll clean up my inbox. That will be nice. This is on a user level, your inbox. So each of you, as I'm collaborating, maybe Cynthia has not yet viewed any of the information I've been chatting with Robert or on the task I was chatting with her. Then that would remain in her inbox until she chose to archive it. And then if Robert chatted on this again while it was archived, it would just move right back into my inbox. So again, you guys don't need to dig in your own emails and dig through trash, dig through your inbox, dig through different folders inside of Motion with our messages here alongside the task view. This can again be really helpful to have a clean communication with your client on an ongoing basis. With that, I wanted to take a moment, see if any other questions have come in or if you all have thought of any with the different topics I've brought up. Feel free, take a moment, think about how you're collaborating with your team, how you want to collaborate with your team and client communication better, and feel free drop those in the comment section and we're happy to review them. In the meantime, something that's going to be really nice for continued collaboration with your team and with your clients themselves are incorporating our automations. So I'll go ahead and, pardon me, start to highlight some of that. I'll pop into the socials here, Everroot Landscaping. And right now, we're really at the beginning of my project. I really want them to sign the contract. They haven't yet, but you know what? I have some time. I've already been pinging them today. Maybe I do want to set up some automations again for myself, just so I can have those ready. I don't have to worry. A big automation that I like as kind of a one-off, if there's a really important task that I do want to be notified immediately about, but my notifications are more set on the daily level. Over in the bottom left-hand corner on your notifications, you can set your client message notifications as well as any other activity. This will send you an email notification. Something that's nice about this is you can change those preferences. Again, I mentioned mine are set as daily. I'll get a digest email at the end of the day with all of the activity and information on each project. But like I said, I've really been waiting on Robert to send me this contract. If I click on submit, sign, and new agreement, again, we're chatting back and forth. I'll go up to the top in automations and set off a one-off automation just for this particular scenario. I'll go ahead and mark if the task submit and sign new client agreement is completed. I don't want to have any delay because the automation I do want to set up for myself, it's to send an email notification. This way I do not need to adjust my overall account and project levels or project notifications. But this way I'll still be emailed immediately for this particular event. I can also type in Cynthia's email here if her notifications on her Motion projects and templates are set either for daily or none. Again, this is a really important event, both me and my team. Maybe I want to let my support team know as well once this is done. Hey, we got this contract. Let's get going. We want to really kick off the socials for this month for them. So we can see a visual here now. There's a little lightning bolt. I've set off my one-off automation. I'll get that email right away as soon as Robert is done with this. That way I know maybe he'll take a couple of extra moments to ping me. Maybe he doesn't have further questions and he just wants to mark it complete. That can be really powerful. Again, just a one-off automation. If you want this, one moment. If you want this, though, to happen on all of your tasks, again, you can just update. I can go in here and switch this to immediately for any of those messages. A few other automations that are really helpful for connecting with your team is if we go up Another one that I really like to utilize is if my team task, resend the original agreement is completed, then we can also go ahead and maybe import additional steps. So this can be nice if you're using Motion where you have different services. Based off of your templates. So for me, how my Motion account is set up is I am working on SEO or socials are two of my main services for my clients. Maybe for whatever reason, in this original agreement, when I was talking to Robert, he's kind of a one-off scenario. He actually wants to work on that SEO with me and the socials. It kind of changed. That's why he wanted me to resend the original one. We had an updated one. A variety of scenarios come up with you guys all the time. So what this can do is this can import tasks from a particular template. So again, with ours, we originally were going to have those socials. Our updated agreement now is going to be, we'll just do website design. I know I was giving you guys a different example, but we'll do some of those website design, and then we can import, again, different tasks, start working on those. We may start off a new agreement. Again, we already talked about this updated contract with Robert. We're sending it out. I'll go ahead and set this one for myself, and that will, again, once he completes this agreement, it will import that variety of tasks now for the website. I don't need to worry about doing and managing multiple projects for Robert then. I'll just import them, continue to work on my campaigns, start doing all of the work for his socials, but then can start doing the work for his web design as well. With that, I know we have gone through a lot of our topics for today. We may have a little bit of a shorter live stream today and end at the 30-minute mark. That is okay. Wanted to still leave time for any questions that do come up. I have one or two more topics I'll go over for the next 8 minutes. But again, everyone, don't be shy if questions do come up. The last couple of things to highlight, at least for today, is I do want to highlight just the different views here. So I know I've talked a lot about my inbox in my message center, and then I was going back and forth with kind of this archive view. But just to be clear, this inbox is your main inbox with all of your chats and messages that come in. You can action these and make any of them into tasks for your collaboration then and keeping this clean view. That will, again, in combination of our new tasks view, be very helpful. But this comment section over here, this comment is what will show whenever you and your team members and your clients comment on a task message. So you guys can comment on those tasks. I was popping those up all throughout our live stream today, but that's what this filtered view is. And then the chat view here, this is the overall project level chat view. So you can see here, I can select a project. I can see my chat. There's no overall chat level, project level chat here, pardon me. But again, I just wanted to highlight the 4 different views here. Some of you, for your different settings, can turn off the chat. If we go over to the portals here, you can turn off the messages. So that will eliminate the overall portal messages for the projects themselves. So that'll help keep your message view cleaner too. Tanya mentioned that she may have been multitasking and was wondering if the live session was being recorded. Yes, don't worry, it is being recorded. We'll make sure that you can get a copy of that recording, no problem. ILA Connect asks, we need a lot of very similar templates depending on which lawyer is booked and which type of service is booked. We have about 50 templates already. ILA Connect, that is a great point. So what they are mentioning, everybody, is over here in the template section based off of their workflows and their processes. They have 50 of these templates because they have different team members working on different projects. And they're wondering if that importing the task could be used somehow so that they could reduce the template level. I may take a quick pause here just to think about that to give you the best answer. One moment, ILA. I have had some of this, a question similar to this come up recently. Something that may be really powerful for you, all ILA Connect, is using Zapier. So if the project is potentially created, there could be a base template there. I've seen different people use this to then, based off of different triggering events. So maybe there's a scheduled call, maybe there's another event where you all identify, okay, cool, you guys do use Zapier. Maybe you all identify, um, in that event, which lawyer is going to be working with them. That Zap could then run and filter from that scenario and then properly assign that lawyer to the motion project. That would be a way to have maybe a little bit less manual work. I'm not sure ILA Connective right now with those 50 different templates. Maybe to not get too granular on the live stream, we'll follow up with you. I'll think about this question, and if we need to hop on a quick call, we can do that as well. But I do think between Zapier and using some of the important automations, just depending on your workflows, I think there could be some improvements we could help you with. With that, ILA Connect, I'll go ahead. We're noting down your questions. We'll reach out pretty shortly here just to follow up with that question in a little bit more detail. For an overview for that, for everybody else who's joining, just to share, when there's an event that kicks off that you do want to start working with your clients and start communicating them on a project in motion, you can create that project manually. You can also kick it off via Zapier. Zapier is a tool that can help connect data from another software. So, maybe there's a payment that comes through, maybe something else happens where in ILA Connects, like they know that what lawyer is working with what client. Those events using Zapier, then we can make it easier to create that motion project, assign tasks out to your client, have the correct team members on it. So then you guys don't need to do those steps. All those 3 or 4 steps I just mentioned can be done automatically. That way, when you all log into Motion, you can actually start working on what you need to work on with the clients, just communicate with them, chat with them back and forth. But yeah, just kind of big picture for everybody else, what ILA Connect was talking about, and then ILA Connect one last time, we'll reach out and get more detailed with you. We just have maybe a minute or two left. I'll hang tight for another 20 or 30 seconds here, just in case a last minute question or two came in. And then otherwise, we look forward to seeing you all next week and rolling out even more information, more learning objectives. Hopefully we'll see, again, you, Tanya, ILA Connect. You guys, it's always great to see different clients of ours join different weeks. So I don't see another question that has come in those 20 or 30 seconds. So with that, I wanted to just thank you all so much for joining. Always have fun. It is great to have Friday mornings, or I guess depending on your time zone, afternoons with you all. So thank you again. Cheers. We'll talk to you soon. Take care.